This video is we are going to talk about why isn't there a hexagram of love. This topic came about because my daughter raised a question to me. She said that the most important concept in the Holy Bible is love. Then why isn't there a specific section of I Ching that's mentioning about this hugely important life experiences? Well, we're going to explore this topic in this video. Before we dive into the specifics on the hexagrams, we're going to talk about four types of love being used in Bible, the original Greek scripture. So if you go to Google and then just type in where are the four loves referenced in Bible, and we can see a whole bunch of things came up. Basically, in the Bible, there are four different types of love being mentioned. Even Wikipedia even has that. Specifically, they are the storge love, philia love, eros love, and agape love. So let's start with this concept. Let's clarify what they are in the Bible. How do they mention that in the Bible? So in the Bible original text, they use four different type of words to describe love. One is eros love, which is sensual or romantic love. Storge love, which is family love, affectionate bond that develops naturally between parent, children, or brother and sisters. Then the next level is filial love. That's a trust, confident, held dear in a close bond of personal affection. And finally, the agape love, which is a divine love that comes from God, perfect, unconditional, sacrificial, and pure. So, how is love really affecting us in the hexagram of that's describing various experiences in life? As we can see, what love does is actually love is a type of energy that affects our free will decisions. Human being at any time may have a state of being that contains certain emotion, such as joy, anger, sad, exuberant, shocked, fearful, anxious, or at peace. Then you have all these belief system and on your that's compiled from your knowledge or previous experiences. Then combine all the state of being under the motivation or inspiration of love. Then you make a decision at certain circumstance that's described by the hexagram. You decide, I'm going to apply a yin energy into the situation. We talked about earlier about this in our previous video. When you apply yin energy, you are applying energy around the center of the matter. So in this case, we apply yin energy at this particular stage of the hexagram where it describes the overall circumstance. So the love itself is not a circumstantial description, nor it is a description of a particular life experience. It is really a energy that propelled us to make certain free will decision when we are under a circumstance that's described by the I Ching hexagram. So love leads to free will action. Then action leads to experience that under certain circumstances as described by the hexagram. So love itself is not a standalone experience like other experiences described by the I Ching hexagram. And the circumstances plus action leads to experiences, but action can be motivated or inspired by love. So now we are clear why isn't there a particular experience called love in I Ching, but love is essential in all these experiences. So next, let's look at how are the hexagram being affected or powered by various types of love. First, let's look at eros love. So I'm not going to go into detail in this video. I'm just going to give a quick overview and head to the inferences. If you're interested, you can pause this video and then take a look at the detail, what these lines say in your spare time. How about the hexagrams that directly affected and powered by storge love, which is love between parent-child or brothers and sisters. So they are 13, line 1, 2, 27, line 6, 30, line 5, 31, line 5, 32, line 1, 2, and 5, 33, line 3, 37, 1 through 6, 38, 4 through 6, and 54, line 5, 56, 4 and 5, 57, 4 and 5. I here separate these lines by the I Ching upper script and the lower script, and I will show that later in my analysis and conclusion. So we continue. What are the lines affected by filial love? Hexagram 5, line 5, 9, line 5, 13, line 2, 15, line 6, 17, line 2, 27, line 6, 30, lines 2, 5, and 6, 35, line 1, 38, 4 through 6, 39, 5 and 6, 40, line 4. So then we got more. Continue on the lower script, 41, line 1, 42, 2, 3, 49, 5, 55, 1 through 5, 57, 4 through 5. Then finally, the hexagrams that are directly affected power and or powered by agape love, which is the highest form of love, the divine love. They are line 8, 1 to 5, 13, 6, 25, 1, 2, 26, 6, 30, 5 and 6, and 41, 1, 2, 5, 6, 42, 3, 5, 47, 2, 5, 52, line 4, hexagram 55, line 2, 4, 5, and we still got more. 52, line 4, 55, line 2, 4, 5, 59, lines 1 and 2, 61, line 1, 63. With all that mentioned, let's look at our quantized I Ching statistics, and let's infer some interesting results from here. So if we, based on those above analysis, we can compute for the various 4 different type of love. For every line that's involved in that love, we have the quantized characteristics of each line. As we mentioned in the previous video, the average ending value, here's the ending value, for all the I Ching 384 lines, the average value is 0.74. So it's not 0, so it's slightly toward the auspicious, and with a standard deviation about 6. So let's look at the results. For Eros love, we can see there's no lines in the upper script that's directly associated with Eros love, but we have 17 of them in the lower script, and the average ending value for Eros love, look at that, is negative 0.51. Similarly, we go to Storge love, and there are 4 in the upper script, 19 in the lower script, and their average value, ending value, is 3.28. Go to filial love, it's 9 on the upper, 20 on the lower, with a total average ending value 4.37. Finally, on agape love, the highest form is 9 on the upper script, 16 on the lower script, with an average ending value of 6.25. Of all 384 lines, 76 lines can be directly or affected or in the power by love, by any of the 4 types of love. And that's why we found out, because some of the lines here are repeating. Some of the lines here are associated with agape love, filial love, and storge love. So one line could be directly powered or affected by multiple types of love. But the first interesting result coming from this table is that the agape love obviously has a much higher ending value than the Eros love. Look at that, 6.25 and negative 0.51. And filial love is slightly larger than the storge, and storge is slightly larger. It's not slightly, it's still significantly larger than Eros love. So Eros loves are not directly involved in any upper script experiences. That's another interesting observation. All the other types of love have upper scripts lines that's the experiences that's associated with these type of loves, but not eros love. And agape love has highest ending value in the upper script. Look at that, 8.35, and our standard deviation is only 6. This is very interesting results, and I personally were surprised by such a big contrast amongst the different types of love. So what inference can we derive from the above analysis and the statistics? Well, first one is the lines directly associated with eros love on average ends less than neutral on the auspicious scale. So look at that. This is only one that's negative. That means you are leaning toward misfortune. When you if you continue to practice eros love all the time, you are leaning toward misfortune. Lines directly associated with agape love almost all ends auspiciously, more than one standard deviation, and that's what this table shows. Look at that, it's such a significant positive number. That means if I continue to practice agape love all the time, I'm living my life experience by the principles of agape love, most likely, and more than one standard deviation of probability that I'm going to experience a auspicious life experiences. Next inference we can draw is eros love on average ends neutral at best. So the common movie script ending of living happily ever after is not the average outcome of the eros love. And next inference we can draw is constant pursuit and practice of storge, philia, and especially agape love is a viable life strategy to improve the auspiciousness, or most people call it luck, in our life. And that's a secret. And that is the secret that we can derive from this table. That is very obvious. As you practice these three all the time, then by statistical mean, you will live a auspicious life. So since the agape love is so important as shown in this on this table, so let's talk about what is agape love. Well, you can search the Google and Wikipedia, but basically the most contrasting difference of agape love compared to other forms of love is that agape love is guided or governed by principles. It may or may not include affection and fondness, and that's a very important difference. Agape love is not unfeeling, otherwise it would not differ from the cold justice, but it is not ruled by feeling or sentiment. It never ignores principle. So that's the biggest difference of agape love compared to other forms of love. Well, here it says principles a couple times. So what principles? Well, the principles of discerning right from wrong, and that's the main theme of the book of I Ching.